I'm Ryan Brown, the director of the Masters Academy of Art in Springville, Utah, and I wanted to make this video to discuss what academic study is. We get a number of inquiries from prospective students that have heard various amounts about academic study. Some have been exposed to what it is quite a bit, and some are very new to the difference between what academic study offers, university systems and other systems of learning how to draw and paint. So this video is meant to kind of clarify our approach at the Masters Academy of Art, as well as try and more clearly distinguish between the different types of artistic study and development that will hopefully clarify a little bit what we're about and why this type of education is so useful and how it can best serve the students. So just briefly, I graduated from a university in illustration and was exposed to a lot of different ideas as you obviously would be at any university. Then I went to the Florence Academy of Art in Florence and was exposed to a really effective way of progressing in the development of my skills as a draftsman and as a painter. The difference between the two types of approaches in art education was drastic. It was really just such a dramatic difference that it really motivated me to come home and start this school because it was so much more effective to learn under the academic approach to drawing and painting. So just a little bit about the differences. Most university systems are pretty similar globally, and the university system tends to expose you to a lot of ideas, which obviously is positive. But it doesn't necessarily have a structured program in the sense that it allows for a regulated progression. If you think about it in terms of math or any other way that we develop understanding just as human beings, starting with the very basics and getting more and more complex with your lessons as you go is basic human development. And university systems tend to take a lot of various information that's very simple and some very, very complex, and throw it at the students all at once. It's this sort of melting pot of ideas without really the time or the exercises to develop individual skill and have a regulated progression while developing that skill. The academic system, on the other hand, it's individual in its approach. So, in terms of assignments and grades, that doesn't apply in the academic system. The academic system really pays attention to individual critiques and watching the student and what their skills are coming in and what their weaknesses are, and then developing those into strengths. Through, again, a regulated progressional system. So you start with very simple exercises, say from copy drawing, which comes from 19th century drawing plates from the Charles Bark drawing course, to cast drawing, constant work on from a live model with figure drawing, anatomy lessons. But you start with very simple exercises, and when you pull all of the information out of those exercises that you need to learn, say initially in the beginning, learning how to see with a greater degree of accuracy, learning how to progress through a drawing from the general block in to the stages of development to the finishing stages, how to turn form, how to control your values, even simply how to sharpen your pencil and how to control that medium. We start with a simple medium of pencil, move to something more complex like charcoal. These are all ways that we break down the learning into working from simple to more complex. And when you pull all of the information you're meant to out of one exercise, you move on to something more complex. And there's a constant dialogue with daily personal critiques between the teacher and the student that allows the teacher to understand better what the student is understanding and allows a lot of clarity from the student perspective to understand also what they're learning. You want to be able to know that you're learning. You want to be able to see your progression. And that is very clear under the academic system. And it's just a brilliant system that has been developed through the Renaissance into the 19th century. And it really works for the average student in terms of breaking complex things down and making them a little bit more simple, a little bit more digestible, and allowing those students to progress through their knowledge at their own rate of speed. And that's very important because we're not taking a big group of incoming students and just shoving them through, as they finish a class, we just move them on whether they're ready or not. The progress of each individual student is absolutely individual. And there's, again, that constant dialogue back and forth between teacher and student so that we make sure that you're not wasting time on things that you already know and you're not being challenged by things that are too advanced for you at the moment. We certainly want to push you, but we want you to feel confident in your progress, again, without wasting too much time on busy work. So that difference in the approach to education is really the key difference between a university system and the academic approach. More and more students, I think, are finding that, especially in artistic fields like painting, sculpture, any kind of art making, that degrees aren't necessary. That, if you're going to be selling in galleries, if you're going to be working on commissions, mostly what people want to see is just really good work. And a degree is pretty obsolete when it comes down to that. And we get a lot of questions, especially from concerned parents whose high school seniors might be graduating and thinking about going to an academy versus a university. That idea of the importance of the degree comes up quite often. A degree is really only important if you were going on to get your master's degree, in which case you probably would only get that if you wanted to turn around and teach at a university. But most people that come through here want to be professional artists, and so our focus is mainly on skill development and then professional development to help them transition into life as a working professional. That is essentially the breakdown of what academic study means. I will follow this with successive videos that talk about more specifically the program itself, from what a full-time student looks like to part-time classes, and discuss in further detail each individual class and the overall curriculum. Thanks.